But let's talk about Bitcoin wallets. And it is the most important step. Once you buy the Bitcoin, you need to learn how to store that Bitcoin. And not only do you want a wallet that's going to be safe and secure, but you also want to think about the future in terms of where the Bitcoin's sitting, and when you eventually want to spend that Bitcoin, what that's going to look like for you in terms of transaction fees. So nobody considers that when they first buy Bitcoin for the first time. They buy the Bitcoin, they send it to some wallet that they saw on a YouTube channel or on Twitter, or whatever it is. And then they just assume that Bitcoin is always going to be safe. And it might be, but they're not considering when they actually go to spend that Bitcoin, what that's going to look like on their end. So that's what we're going to talk about today. I have 4 different wallets that we're going to walk through here. And keep in mind that all of this, the Bitcoin stuff, there's a saying in Bitcoin of being your own bank. And I don't love that saying because I'm still fairly reliant on banks right now, even though I'm majority in Bitcoin. But it is a major responsibility, and it's not something that you should be taking lightly here. So I got 4 wallets. I got the Moon wallet, the Phoenix wallet, the wallet of Satoshi, and the Sparrow cold card combination. So the first one here, each of them is going to serve a different purpose for you. And that's what you have to consider for yourself. There's not going to be a wallet that works perfectly for everybody, depending on what you want to do. So let's start with this. I'm going to start with the in-between wallet. So if you're somebody who just bought Bitcoin for the very first time, you're excited, you FOMO'd into it. So let's say you bought $10,000 worth of Bitcoin. You need a wallet to send that to, because you do not want to leave that Bitcoin on the exchanges, because until you move it into a Bitcoin wallet, that Bitcoin does not belong to you. So what I would say, just kind of as an in-between wallet, that's what I'm calling this one, an in-between wallet. So you bought Bitcoin, you don't know if you're going to take it seriously, you don't know if you're going to keep buying or not. But what I would be using there is the Moon wallet. So it's MUUN. You can just go to the App Store. You can find it on there. It's a blue M. With every one of these wallets, except for the wallet of Satoshi, the one thing you have to make sure is that you're downloading the proper wallet, number one. 2 things, I guess. And the second thing is that when they tell you to write down your private key or your backup phrase, make sure you do that. Make sure you do that on a very recognizable piece of paper. You know exactly where that piece of paper is, because if something were to happen to your phone, whether it dies, you drop it down the toilet, or your dog eats it, you have to have a backup phrase for that. So if that happened, you'd use your backup phrase to restore that wallet and essentially restore your Bitcoin balance. Because if you download the Moon wallet and you do drop your phone down the toilet, if you don't have your backup phrase written down, that Bitcoin is gone forever. There's absolutely zero way to retrieve that or restore that. So that's kind of the in-between wallet. Moon holds their Bitcoin on chain. There is Lightning capability in there for smaller amounts. I've used it before. It works pretty good, actually. But if you have a high fee environment, you're not going to be relying on the Moon wallet for that. So that's what I would suggest as like an in-between wallet, where you bought Bitcoin for the first time, you need somewhere to store it off the exchanges. I would use Moon wallet, because for most exchanges, if you're using a good exchange like Bull Bitcoin or even ShakePay, they're not going to charge you any fees for that first transaction. So you buy it on Bull Bitcoin, you send it to the Moon wallet, you pay 0 transaction fees or incoming fees into Moon, and you just let it sit there until you decide what you really want to do with Bitcoin. So that's the first one. That's the in-between wallet. That's the Moon wallet. The second one here is your spending/savings account, which I use the Phoenix wallet for. So the Phoenix wallet is essentially a Lightning wallet. You can use it for layer 1 on-chain transactions, but every SAT that's stored within the Phoenix wallet is on Lightning. So that's important to note. And one thing that I have done myself personally is that I've moved a certain percentage of my Bitcoin into a Phoenix wallet, which is sitting on Lightning. And And the idea here is this is sats that you're probably going to spend sometime in the future, whether that's at a business, whether that's buying a new Skidoo with Bitcoin. If you're going to want to save fees and use Lightning, that's where you keep your Bitcoin. So that's why I consider this a spending/savings wallet, because you can use it for Lightning transactions, but you can also hold it in there for a very long time, because Phoenix is also a non-custodial wallet, which means that you hold the keys to that wallet. So the Moon wallet and the Phoenix wallet, you hold the keys to both of those wallets, which is important. And once we talk about the next wallet, you'll kind of understand a little bit more. But one thing to note with the Phoenix wallet is you're going to have to pay a fee, an incoming fee. So because the Bitcoin is held on Lightning within Phoenix, you have to set up your own Lightning channel on the Phoenix wallet. So I think it's 10,000 sats. You pay that when you first set up the wallet. And then every time you move Bitcoin into the Phoenix wallet from on-chain, you have to pay an incoming fee for that to convert it to Lightning. So two things to consider there. And that's why I said for the in-between wallet, if you don't really know what you're going to do with it yet, keep it in Moon. Because with Phoenix, if you go through the exact same scenario there, where you're transferring Bitcoin from Bull Bitcoin to Phoenix, you're going to pay the $10,000 initial setup fee for your Lightning channel. Plus, you're going to pay an incoming fee for the Bitcoin moving there. Unless you could actually use Lightning as well on Bull Bitcoin. They offer a Lightning service, so you could do it that way. But that's kind of my advice in terms of a spending and savings account. I would use the Phoenix wallet. So the next one here, I consider this to be the fun wallet. And that is the wallet of Satoshi. So with Wallet of Satoshi, it's very easy to set up, the easiest to set up. And this is something that you can just do for fun. If you want to keep some, whether you're using NOSTR and you want to be zapping people, you can hook it up to your Wallet of Satoshi. I keep a small amount of Bitcoin on there. And the one thing I would say about the Wallet of Satoshi is that I would only consider it like your pocket amount of money in your wallet. So if you're on a trip and you're going out for the night, how much money would you carry in your wallet? That's how much I would keep in your Wallet of Satoshi. Whereas if you lost your wallet that night or somebody stole it, it wouldn't be the end of the world for you, but you could still pay for whatever you need to do. That's kind of the analogy that I would use for Wallet of Satoshi, because they are a custodial wallet, which means they hold the keys, not you. So let's say you had 2 million sats on a Wallet of Satoshi, and either they decide that they're going to shut down the app or you lose your phone. Wallet of Satoshi does not offer any backup phrase. They hold the keys for you. So if you lost your phone and you had a bunch of Bitcoin on Wallet of Satoshi, that Bitcoin is gone. So that's why I call it the fun wallet. If you're going out for a night, going to the bar, going to a club, just keep that amount of Wallet of Satoshi or amount of Bitcoin on your Wallet of Satoshi. Hope that makes sense. One thing to keep in mind here, and I probably should have mentioned this at the top here, but within the Bitcoin Journey course, it's 21 days, and I've kind of been promoting it to only new Bitcoiners. But I do think that, even if you have Bitcoin right now, you've been in Bitcoin for a little while, I still think that it might be a smart idea to sign up for the course. You don't have to watch every video, but you do have 2 check-ins with me. They can be an hour, hour and a half. I'm pretty flexible with that. But it might be worth your time to kind of go through the videos, maybe learn a few new things, have a couple check-ins, and then you can develop your own personal strategy for Bitcoin based on where you're at right now. And I think that a lot of people, even though they think that they're Bitcoin experts already, they could use that, because most people buy Bitcoin, they put it into a wallet, and they really have no idea what they're doing with it. So that is something to consider. The Bitcoin Journey course talks through this in much more detail. Plus, it has different tips for storing your backup phrase, a whole bunch of other different things. So it might be worth it. You might learn a few things, plus have a couple check-ins with me. You can ask any questions you want. and kind of tailor the course towards where you're at right now. So that could be for you, or it could be a friend, family member, somebody in your network. Send them to the bitcoinjourney.ca. Sorry, bitcoinjourney.ca, not the. There's a link in the description below for all this stuff if you're interested. I highly recommend that. Like I said, this stuff is very important. This is something that you want to get right. And just having somebody there to maybe give a second opinion or walk you through a few different things, I think could be very important for a lot of people. So something to consider. It's very reasonably priced. You can pay in dollars or you can pay in Bitcoin. Just send me an email if you need more information on that. 88sats@proton.me. Appreciate that. Jose, wallet is also the easiest for onboarding people if you live outside of the USA. So perfect example of that. Wallet of Satoshi was banned in the Apple Store in the USA. So they're a custodial wallet. I think that people can still use the wallet. I just don't think that they can download it again. So that's something when you're using these different wallets, like Wallet of Satoshi, that's something to consider, that you don't actually hold that Bitcoin. You're just basically using it. So only keep an amount that you're comfortable losing on Wallet of Satoshi, but it is very easy to do, very easy to use. And I've been using it for a couple of years now, and I haven't had a single issue with it. Ballsy Golf, great name. Speaking of golf, the Players Championship starts tomorrow. We're going to be doing sats. Actually, this is a good opportunity for this. If there's any golfers out there, or just somebody who likes sports and likes gambling, we're going to be doing a little sats pool, we call it. So you just contribute some, similar to like any sort of pool, football pool, but this is for the players. You contribute like 5,000 or 10,000 sats. You pick 4 players, and then if you win, if your players have the lowest score at the end of the players event, you win the pot. So also, if you're interested in that, send me an email, 88sats@proton.me. The more, the merrier, obviously, the more we can get the pot up. But we're going to have a deadline of midnight tonight, so make sure timely with that if you're interested. Anyways, new to all this and just started with a tag 'em wallet, but it is great to learn about others and what they do. And I honestly think that that's the majority of Bitcoiners, of new Bitcoiners. They buy Bitcoin and they really have no idea where to store it, whether they can trust that, if they hold their keys or not, what that's going to look like in the future in terms of moving their Bitcoin and paying the transaction fees with that. And so you have to consider all this kind of stuff. You have to consider how much you're putting into it, when you want to spend that Bitcoin, and how you're managing your UTXOs. There's a lot to know with it. And I think that one thing you could do with these different wallets is just play around. Play around with the wallets. You can find pretty good reviews on all these wallets, I think, on heyapollo.com. I'll show you that resource right now, actually. It's a good call. Quick one here. So this is Hey Apollo. This is a great resource for especially new Bitcoiners. So you go to heyapollo.com. You can go to categories. You click mobile wallets. And then you can see every, oh, Noah has a wallet. Noah wallet, Mash wallet, Samurai. You can go into all these different wallets and look at the reviews, and you can see the average ratings. You can go in there and use them. And I think that this is a very trustworthy site. I've had a lot of success using that site with different things that I want to try out. So test that one out. And the last one here. So we talked about the in-between. We talked about the spending savings account. We talked about the fund wallet. And this last one is the most important one. This last one is where you want to keep the majority of your Bitcoin. So with the Moon wallet, with the Phoenix wallet, with the Wallet of Satoshi, those are all just very small percentages of your total Bitcoin stack that you're going to be using those wallets for. With your, let's say 95% of your Bitcoin, you want to keep it in a device called the cold card. Not that expensive to do, honestly. It's about, I'd say $300, maybe $400 once you have all the accessories included in there. I would get the cold card, the steel plate, the punch, the cord, and I would suggest actually getting the one that doesn't require the battery powered connection, because it's such a pain in the ass to keep it connected to the wall when you're trying to navigate on the cold card. But the nice thing about the cold card is that it never touches your laptop. And one thing I think that a lot of people don't consider here is that those devices like the Ledger, the Trezor, and the other hardware devices, they connect into your laptop through the USB. And I can't speak for everybody here, but I'm thinking most people have visited some pretty suspect websites, and you never know what's going to happen. The ability that they have to track your keystrokes, to see through wherever, I don't know. There's just lots can go wrong with older laptops and plugging things into them. This stuff, like we talked about, if you're actually going to take this seriously here and you're going to have this Bitcoin for the next 20, 30 years, invest $300 or $400 in a device for it. Get the cold card. You're going to sleep much better at night. And that's where you're going to keep the majority of your Bitcoin. You're going to pair that with a wallet called the Sparrow wallet on your desktop. That's how the two interact with each other. The cold card, you just sign the transaction. Anytime you're sending Bitcoin, you just sign the transaction on your cold card. There's a ton of different features within that where you can actually set up a decoy wallet as well. So that's essentially where if something were to happen to you, somebody broke into your house and they knew that you had Bitcoin, you can give them your cold card and log into it, and they can see an amount there. Your decoy wallet, let's say you have 1 or 2 million sats on there as a decoy. Then you add a secondary level of security on the cold card, which is a feature on there, and you set up your main stack behind that they have no idea that you actually have. So not only it is the most secure, but it offers a secondary layer of protection that other wallets don't have. Very important. Plus, you can set up, as you progress through Bitcoin, you can start setting up different multi-signature setups. You have to have different people across geographical locations for that. So that's much more down the road. But in between there, the decoy wallet, I think, is the perfect in between the single signature wallet and a multi-signature wallet. So the cold card offers solutions to all that. And we talked about the decoy wallet. If you're somebody who has a cold card or somebody who wants a cold card, we talked about how to do the decoy wallet on the Living in the Future membership last week, I think it was. So there's a couple really good videos on there already in terms of getting non-KYC Bitcoin, in terms of setting up a decoy wallet with your cold card. It's just not stuff that I'm comfortable talking about on YouTube, but you can get access to that. There's a free trial, $5 a month. You can click the Living in the Future link in the description and just check it out. Check it out. And that's it. What do we have for time? 55 minutes. Not bad. Not bad, not great. Oh, Johnny said he used the Moon as a Lightning wallet. It's possible. I've used the Moon wallet for a Lightning wallet before. Once the fees get too high, though, because you're keeping, Moon actually holds your Bitcoin on chain. So when the fees go up, they just basically shut down the Lightning service. I've seen it a couple times now, and I expect it to be similar in the future if they keep the same setup in their wallet. So you can use it in most environments as a Lightning wallet, but when fees actually get high enough and you actually want to use your wallet, your Lightning wallet, when you need to use your Lightning wallet, they shut it down. So something to consider. I would strongly suggest using Phoenix instead of Moon Wallet if you're somebody who likes using Lightning to buy things or send people money. I would use the Phoenix wallet. Golden Banjo, good morning. It is go time. That's what yesterday's show was about. It is go time. We're there. We're here. We're excited. And we got lots of good things to come. So that is the wallets. Like I said, this stuff is so important. And I really think that, even 1% of people hold Bitcoin, own Bitcoin. And I think that the 1% of that 1% of Bitcoiners actually know what they're doing in terms of buying, storing, and the future implications of transacting with Bitcoin. So if you are somebody who this was a lot to take in today, that's fine. You can always revisit this video. You can check out other YouTube videos. Get in touch with me. If you want to take this stuff seriously, get in touch with me and I can find a solution for you to make sure that whatever Bitcoin you do have, you're going to have in 50 years from now. That is my job. That is my mission here, to make sure that any amount of energy that you put into buying Bitcoin, you keep it. And when you go to spend that Bitcoin in the future, you're going to optimize that. You're going to pay the lowest amount of fees possible. So 88sats@proton.me. Just send me an email. Say, I'm kind of new to Bitcoin. I don't really know what I'm doing yet. I need some help. And I can set you up with whatever solution is good for you. I'm very flexible. So for yourself, for your friends, for your family, I'd appreciate that. So it was awesome chatting with everybody today. I very much appreciate everybody who's been showing up